Love me true, all my dreams fulfill. Oh, my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender. Hey, here we go. Phillipson and Wolverine and Indo's here, and Morgan and Krusty and Kaiser and MB and Indo. Am I remembering right? And you guys know sometimes I cross names. Indo, you're the New Orleans fan of the teams from New Orleans, right? Um, LSU and the Saints. Callum's here, and hey, Chrome, and Arthur's in, and homosexual Sasuke. And you guys get an extra treat today. I'm just trying to look in the monitor. I've been, well, it's the day before we go. It's crazy as fuck. And then I ended up with with an extra little side job to take care of downstairs, which is why I'm still sweating a little bit. So I haven't been, because I have to keep hitting my eyes with drops during the day because, again, just the beating they take, and I haven't. So I just thought of that as I loaded it up. It's like, yeah, this is going to be the red eye stream. Yes, you are. Oh, why? LSU was so close to beating that fucking Alabama. One of those two last drives, I was thinking of you because you're actually the only LSU fan that I know personally, and it's like, yeah, you can't. They couldn't get it in the end zone. That sounds pornographic, but oh, it was so close, and they left those assholes Alabama at number 2 anyway. Hey, the thief. Oh, Barry's is here and also in line for a COVID test. Ah, yeah, I got something to kill the time while you're awaiting the swab. Hey, Lude. Bebop says only in Florida. Lots of things. What did I? Oh shit! I saw. I didn't read the article. I saw a headline earlier of something. I laughed because it was in Florida. I think it was two cops ended up shooting at each other after an argument or something. So far, so good on Breaking Bad, Chrome. And as I said, I won't get a chance to do another one until we get back. So obviously by then you would think if there's no issues, there's not going to be. Now, again, it wouldn't be the first time we've done an episode of something and get hit later, but it does kind of seem like it's opening up the gates for us. Morgan says, glad I'm catching the stream. Been a crazy week. Has it, Morgan? It's been like I say, a crazy day for me, but basically just because we're getting ready to go tomorrow, so you're doing all the last minute stuff. I want to make sure and get over. I want to make a post at the Goosh as well, let the Gooshers know what's going on. And then I have something. I got to try and make a quick video and post it for you guys later. You guys know my stepdaughter, Renee. She's my disabled stepdaughter. You will not believe what person she apparently has a very strong connection to. You guys, it shocked the shit out of me. Wait till you guys see. Zerzul says, I'm so stoked you're in Wano Arc now. It's so fun. It is. It's already really good. Of course, everything about One Piece has been great. But yes, it is so good. I remember following, taking a similar path with Hunter x Hunter, in that I liked every arc. Every arc. I love Hunter x Hunter. And then we got to Chimera Ant arc and was like, holy fuck, this is next level. And I just keep getting the feeling that maybe Wano's going to be like that. Meet Canyon's last video. If it's one of them, I already have recorded, and I'll post it while I'm gone. It was the mukbang one. Is that the one you're talking about? Willie says 7 days until Bebop. Big sad. Yeah, as I told you guys, I'm gonna wait, hear from you guys, see what you guys have to say on it. But I'm not interested initially. Between their horrific record with live action anime and the fact that we didn't see Radical Ed in anything promoting it, they lost me. And Indo says that and the Pelicans still are 1-12. It sucks. It's a tough time down in New Orleans, and the Saints have a decent team, but now of course the injuries at quarterback. They're just getting, and I didn't realize that my boy Ian Book, because I'm a big Notre Dame fan, he's from Notre Dame. I know New Orleans picked him up. I didn't even know he was injured because he wasn't a starter. I didn't know he was injured, so he doesn't even get to play, or I'd be following them. Morgan says, yeah, lots of work stuff, and it just keeps coming. That sucks. But there's an exciting project I'm part of that hopefully I can talk about in 2022. Fun stuff. Oh, cool. We'll look forward to it. Very cool. Yeah. Marcel says, Disney Geppetto. Pinocchio, you're alive. Meat Canyon's Geppetto. Set this demon ablaze. That's why we love Papa Meat. Chrome says, just 80 more episodes till you're at episode 1,000. That's stunning. Some series are completely finished in that time. Yeah. Episode 1,000 is actually meant to be out on the 21st. Pretty big milestone. Yeah, that's going to be... That's just amazing to even think about, honestly. And it just seems like it went by so fast. I still remember vividly us talking about whether or not, over at the Goosh, whether or not we wanted to undertake something like watching the entirety of the One Piece series, and we went back and forth, and I was saying how, I think it'd be something that once we take that ride together, we'll always be able to look back on, and now I'm really glad we did. Philip says, update, day 12 of NNN, only 18 days left. Now, in fairness, I told you guys I'm not a participant, and yeah, I was out really early. Thank God November only has 30 days, not 31. Yeah, pal. December 1st is going to be one legendary nut. Nobody be in Philip's vicinity on the 1st until he's taking care of business. We're just putting it out there. You could be in danger. Indo says, you heard about OBJ going to the Rams? I did. I heard 3 other major teams who was eyeing it were the Chiefs, the Packers, and the Saints. And you know what I'm wondering, Indo? He's, we know what a prima donna he is. I'm wondering if it's because there's uncertainty at quarterback why he probably wouldn't have ended up going to New Orleans, you think? Because he's, he is a pretty princess, and he wants to make sure he gets the ball his way and thrown to him often and efficiently. And I think there's going to be a problem with the Rams because I think that Kupp is better than him, and I think Woods is as good as him too. Zerzul says, be me, see no Ed, Ed literally fucking riot. Couldn't agree more. How you going to do Bebop and not Ed? I remember as a kid, old Adult Swim airings of Cowboy Bebop and seeing Ed and being like, anime looks so odd. Yeah, and that's what was so great about her, Zerzul. The word odd. She was so quirky and weird and different and just fun. I just loved her character. And of course, the way she left in the series was brilliant as well. And then they show nothing of her. I saw nothing of her in the trailer. And then Chrome said she showed up nowhere on any paraphernalia related to the show at all. But then the producers come out on social media and say, oh, don't be so sure. So it sounds like they're trying to scramble something together because the fan base went, well, fuck you, we're not watching this. Mila says, Baldman, have you heard there's going to be a live action One Piece series for Netflix? Yeah. I saw the casting, Mila. We were talking about that the other day. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, put it this way. A couple of them look spot on. I think Luffy's actor looks really good. And the others I think I could get used to if they're good at playing the roles. Chrome says it's been a long journey, but we're nearly there. Yeah. It's more or less 14 weeks till you're caught up, ready for the next big journey with Jimmy. That again, Tommy, yeah. If Big Green isn't here, oh, yeah, because Big Green always really loves those Jimmy references. Samuel says, little joke for you. How do celebrities stay cool? They have many fans. Oh, so funny. I love terrible puns. Oh, yeah, Cowboy Bebop. He says Netflix does have a history of effing up shows like Jupiter's Legacy. They, again, I haven't watched all of them because I learned from you guys not to bother. But the most egregious thing I ever saw was that goddamn live action Death Note. The little bit I saw of it, I turned that shit off. That was terrible. Zerzul says Luffy live action actor is now binging One Piece to understand as best he can. Good. It's kind of wholesome. He said he's absolutely loving it. The fandom grows. Yeah, really. That's good. To me, that should be requisite, and it doesn't seem like it has been in the past. I mean, even if the actor, okay, you might not have to know the characters inside and out coming into your audition, but if you're getting the role, you should know, again, everything about them. You should see every episode. So what? It's 1,000. It's a hell of a job. It's a hell of an opportunity for you. Put in the time and get to know the character. Rainy Friday says, with the casting choices we get so far, Ed's going to be an AI on the Bebop. Yeah. That's why I'm waiting for them to ruin it somehow, Friday. I'm just waiting for it. I'm not going to be surprised by it when they do it this time. And she's one of my favorite characters in all of anime, not just in that series. And again, if they're not going to have her, it'd be like if you're going to do Hellsing and not have Ceres. Well, I ain't fucking watching that either. It just, I don't know. Or if, they do make that one piece and they all of a sudden decide, hey, you know what? We don't really need fill in the blank Nami. We don't really need Luffy. Morgan says, almost 2 p.m. on Friday. I should start my weekend. Start that weekend, Morgan. Absolutely. From the sounds of the week you had, you should. You should dive in with both feet. Madman says, shit, I'm tardy to the party again. Don't spank me. Well, the spankings here are not necessarily punishments, but that's a whole different conversation. Krusty says, my wife told me she'll slam my head in the keyboard if I don't get off the computer. I'm not too worried. I think she's... Yeah, I get you. Willie says, $5 says that Nico, Robin, or Nami will be the real main character because Luffy is male and we can't have that. Gotta sprinkle that political correctness in wherever we can. If you have an underrepresented portion of the population, even if they're not actually underrepresented, you better take care of it. Zurzul says, wait, what? Partial paying attention here. Heard Hellsing without Ceres. No, the fuck happened? Am I choosing violence this early in the day? Who needs to die? I'm with you, pal. That's what I was saying, though. That's akin to, having no Radical Ed in Bebop is akin to not having Ceres in Hellsing for me. It just, who gives a fuck about the show without that character? Spezio says, just smoke some sativa now. I'm watching this. Well, I've always said that if you can have access to anything that alters the mind a little bit, be it alcohol or whatever your preference may be, it's probably these live streams are probably better consumed that way. Chrome says, by the way, any thoughts on Biden's latest guy? Oh, Jesus Christ, now what'd he do? We also found out he's behind the DOJ comparing parents to domestic terrorists. Okay, let me take a look at Chrome's link here. He has so many gaps, it's hard to keep up. Tells us
attitude of the great Negro at the time, pitcher in the Negro Leagues, went on to become a great pitcher in the pros, into the Major League Baseball after Jackie Robinson. His name was Satchel Paige.
What the fuck is he babbling about?
That's the great
seriously
Negro at the time, pitcher in the Negro League.
She shook her head. She didn't even know what to do. The interpreter. What the fuck is he talking? That pisses me off on a number of levels. Because first of all, Satchel Paige was a great baseball player. And he did go on to pitch in the majors, but it was when he didn't know his exact age, but they think he was in his 50s. So you didn't tell any of his story accurately. You guys know me, I'm a baseball nerd. That shit pisses me off. First of all, that just the terminology itself. He was a great man. You don't have to characterize that by race, Joe. And a great baseball player, one of the greatest pitchers ever. But by the time he got to the actual major leagues, he was like 50-something years old. And yes, he still got batters out. But he didn't have a great major league career because he was 50-something years old. There's a great Satchel Paige story I could tell you guys sometime of an umpire not letting him take his warm-up pitches when he came in from the bullpen. Because you didn't come in from the bullpen a lot back in the day. You were supposed to finish your game. And I'm sure because it was black, the umpire decided to be a dick and said, no, you can't have warm-up pitches. So Satchel immediately threw 4 intentional balls to the first hitter he faced, walked him, and then he tried to pick him off like 20 times in a row to loosen up his arm. Then he went ahead and like struck out the side or something. He was a badass. Oh, excuse me, guys. Got a little bug visiting me here. Zerzul says, "Oh, no one's actually doing that." No, that would be rioting in the street, Zerzul, no doubt. Okay, phew, can put the crowbar down. Also, Robin and Nami, his main character, political but sexy waifu representation. Yeah, but they can do that while we still have one of the most badass main protagonists ever in anime, Monkey D. Luffy. BTG says women are underrepresented except Bob's. Then it's too represented for those neo-moralists because hypocrisy. I have spare characters. Screw Flanders. Well played, BTG. Extra characters should always be utilized for Screw Flanders. Absolutely. Spazio says can't stop smiling and laughing. Permanent grin. What's up, pal? I mean, that's a good thing. Oh, because the sativa. Okay, that's right. I forgot you had just said that. Duh. That would explain it. Huh. I thought it was this hilarious quality entertainment. Willie says, I love Alucard, argues Ceres is the main character of Hellsing. Also, if Ed is an AI, then she would be binary. Binary code, that is. Well played, Willie. I don't know. I think Alucard is a clear protagonist. I think you could make a strong case for Ceres being the more popular. They're two of my all-time favorite characters in anime, both of them. But yeah, I think you make a character for being more popular, and not just because she's gorgeous. I mean, because of the actions of her character. Patrick says, new sub, just wanted to hear you say moist. See, I can get away with it right now, Patrick, because Emerald Octopus, one of our mods and one of our longtime regulars here, she can't be in the streams as much anymore just because of her, her own personal schedule. And she fucking hates that word. If I said it while Em was here, I would have gotten yelled at and called names and stuff. It would have hurt my feelings bad. Zerzul says, true, need Celestial Dragon punch from main character. Right, pal. Yeah, I've heard that one, Krusty. Why don't cannibals eat clowns? Because they taste funny. Hey, Downward, good to see you again, pal. Glad you dropped by. Netflix, Vin says, Netflix is supposed to have a live-action Assassin's Creed. I didn't hear about that. In my opinion, hopefully it would be better than the movie. See, I didn't see any of that. Assassin's Creed, I liked that game. I didn't play much of it. I played a little, but I spent a lot of time watching Brax play it. He was way into it. We even did that on the channel a couple times. We had gameplays where he was playing and I was watching. That game the story was phenomenal, but the look and the beauty of the game was ridiculous. Excuse me. Lute says, I'm still completely convinced the One Piece show is going to be shit. Bebop has 200% more chance of being good, and it won't be. There's no way they can properly translate the field comedy into live action. That's very possible. And again, like we said, Lude, when you look at their batting average coming into this trip to the plate, there's nothing there that makes you feel like either one of those is going to be the exception to the rule of them sucking when they make live action anime. Chrome says there's 3 major Biden gaffes in the last week or two. Them finding Biden was behind the comparing parents to domestic terrorists, and his daughter's diary being leaked revealing he did things. I haven't seen all the details of the daughter's diary. I saw it was covered. It's just been a really busy week for us with getting ready to go, and so I haven't been as up on the news as I have been. That whole thing with Satchel Paige, that actually pissed me off. And if you're, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong because, again, maybe I'm just too much of a baseball nerd. But if you're going to mention someone in honoring them, how long does it take to go online and actually learn about them? You know what I'm saying? He could have told, just like that story I did. There are so many great Satchel Paige stories. If you had a minute and you wanted to add in something really cool, you could have told one of the many legendary Satchel Paige stories. You also could have referred to him as a great man and or a great baseball player. But he just and went on to have a great career in the major leagues after Jackie Robinson. Well, he was a great pitcher, but no, he didn't. You should have. It was an opportunity to point out that it's sad that we never got to see Satchel Paige in his prime against the major league hitters. Because, again, by the time he made the major leagues, as far as we can tell, the guy was in his 50s. Not entirely fair. Rainy Friday says, "Hey Curtis, my anime girl hasn't been streaming lately, so I'm stuck with you." Oh, that's a depressing downgrade. Can you give me an ara before before I go back to work? I like it. Oh God, we're gonna have Curtis sound redeems now, aren't we? Lude says. Chrome, the FBI raided Veritas to retrieve the diary. Then the FBI leaked Veritas's private info to CNN, so it kind of gives some credibility to the story. The thing of it is, we know that if anything looks poor for this administration, it's not going to be covered at any length by the mainstream media. That's a given. It's just a pathetic. It's just amazing to me how journalists have completely sold themselves out. They just don't care. There's no concern anymore about telling the entirety of a story. It's all about furthering a narrative. Philip says, "I'm convinced Biden has dementia or syphilis." Wow. I mean, let's not cut him short, Philip. Could be both. Those aren't mutually exclusive. Wolverine says, "Check next post." Let's see. Oh, sure. Oh, I missed what Big Green and Chrome were talking about. Oh, she said, "Oh, by the way, fact checkers are already stating Biden never said that." And Big Green says, "Not very good fact checkers," because I clearly heard them say it just now. Well, the fact checkers they have now, too, again, have no relationship to entire truths. Now, when they fact check something, they will counter it with facts, but they won't tell you the whole story. Because a lot of the things the fact checkers say are false are not necessarily false. It's just that there is equal evidence that something else might be true. That's all. Arthur says, "The worst that the diary suggests about Biden is that he showered with her." Ooh. Hunter, however, gets accused of some pretty heinous stuff in it. Well, I don't think anybody has trouble believing anything heinous about Hunter Biden at this point. What is there that he could do that could surprise us? Rosa says, "I finally achieved a chess rating of 1600. I've been thinking about getting a coach because I hope to become a title player." Very cool. "The lowest title is at a rating of 2200. I spent 16 months to reach my rating." That would be cool, Rosa. To get to those levels in anything in which we have a passion would be phenomenal. Code says, "Common guys, we all know that Biden is not running this country. The poor old man looks like he just ran away from his nursing home every time he talks. I just feel bad for him." It's just like, yeah, Code, and you're right. And it's just like that link that Chrome supplied with his discussion of his wildly inappropriate discussion of Satchel Paige. And again, what really pisses me off is I'm sure that wasn't a surprise that he was going to talk about Satchel Paige. Learn a little about him. Tell one, because there's a million cute little human stories about Satchel Paige. He was a hell of a character and an amazing pitcher. Because trust me, those Negro Leagues had some phenomenal hitters. You had guys like Josh Gibson. I mean, there were incredible hitters there. And Satchel Paige was dominant. It would have been so fun to see. It would have been so fun to see what he could have done against the major leaguers of the time when he was in his prime. Andrew says they used the Biden technique to fact check. We choose truth over facts. Yeah, 100%, Andrew. That's exactly what it is. And that's what, and again, having a background in journalism, it's so easy to see that's what journalists do. It's not that when it's said that they're fake news, that's not actually accurate. They are slanted and partial news. It's not that they tell outright lies for the most part. It's that they only tell you part of a story, whereas, of course, the very basic tenet of journalism is to get all the details and put all the details into your story, your report, whatever it may be. And they just simply do not do that anymore. It's accepted practice to report from a biased angle. Special said might visit New York next month or first quarter 2022. I'd love to meet up if you're down. I'd really mean a huge deal to me, but 100% understand if you can't. Sure. I'm always game to meet up with any of you guys. The only thing I have to warn people ahead of time is my schedule's crazy as hell. But if times work out, sure. I love doing that. Noah says, my favorite reaction of yours has to be the cyanide and happiness waiting for the bus cartoon, especially when the bus blows up. We were talking about that the other day, Noah. There's been so many great things over the years here with the reactions. So many stuff that I got completely blindsided by. I mean, obviously the one of my favorites wasn't necessarily because of the reaction, as obviously because of what it became, was during the old reaction video streams we were able to do when you guys showed me the Goosh Goosh Man. Because if I still remember right, that was presented to me as well one would expect, to see how appalled, or how, show something appalling and get an appalled reaction. Well, I thought that was hilarious right from the start. I mean, the guy got rammed to death. How is that not funny? There's just no way it isn't. And what he became. Oh, hold on. I think I just saw. Oh, Wolverine, because I was supposed to be watching for the next post. I got my new Xbox for 2611. Played quite a bit of Skyrim Anniversary. The game is gorgeous. I know all the Skyrim games I've seen, Wolverine, have been just crazy, beautifully brilliant. That's what always stuck out to me about them. Oh, second to last post. Okay, hold on. I read the wrong one. Hold on. No, that was the right one then, because you said no spam since then. Yeah. No, that's cool, pal. It takes me a while to remember shit, but a lot of times I do get back to it. And Willie says next post. Yeah, that, like, I'm just making sure that was right in front of me. Jesus Christ. Not surprised about Biden's. Aren't most royal families inbred? Also, live action DxD went, oh, now we're talking. Can you imagine a live action high school DxD? Oh, I would do absolutely anything in the world to get to be a part of that cast. I lose 180 pounds and play the lead role. Anything. I'd play Issei. Special says, yay, he's feeling happy. Coach says, playing pro baseball at 50s in today's Major League Baseball is going to be extremely hard. Absolutely. But I agree, Mr. Page is very underrated. Oh, he was, by all accounts, he was brilliant. And again, you look at his numbers, those are some quality hitters he was facing. Those are some seriously quality hitters. It would have been so cool to know what he could have done, against the big leaguers that day. Thomas says, you're coming down tomorrow. You're coming in at a pretty good time. It's going to be in the 70s most of the week. Next week here. Oh, Thomas, if the weather forecast is right, all the years we've been going, this will be the best weather we've ever had. Not dying in the heat. And we've had a couple times we went, like in January, February, where it actually got chilly and it was rainy and crappy. If the weather forecast holds true, it'll be the best weather we've ever been there for. And given that, how you guys know how I'm feeling about it with Bob Chapek. See, I'm torn because for me, the things that Chapek is doing are enough to make me not want to go. But my wife just adores the place. My grandkids love the place, so it's hard to say I won't be going back. But I won't be going back often, I'll tell you that. Now it's gotten to where, and it was someplace I always loved. But what I'm thinking, if things go the way I think they will after the first of the year, and attendance really drops, and Universal continues, because they have been, and Universal continues to kick their ass, I'm hoping that the board of directors fires Chapek. Wood says, thoughts on YouTube removing the dislike counter? I know a lot of people were, all excited about it, and a lot of people were really against it. It doesn't make much of a difference to me, really. I had thought about it, Lou. It's like, if it's there, that's fine. If it's not, that's fine. I get what people are saying. It was a good way to see when a video actually was, like, say it was clickbait or something. People would get together and downvote videos that use clickbait for titles. That was effective and fair. But then you have a lot of times where a creator will make content and the subject matter might be something of a sticky nature, and people will downvote it because of the subject matter rather than the actual video itself. So that wasn't fair to that creator. And so I don't know. To me, and again, with what I do and my experiences on YouTube, it really doesn't, for me personally, it doesn't make much of a difference. And as a viewer of YouTube, I never paid that much attention to the likes and dislikes. You know, if something caught me with a title, or if it caught me because I know the uploader, I would watch it. I don't really care what the numbers were. Timothy says, I hate that airplane companies can cancel your flight. I ran into that a couple times. And the closest thing to a refund you can get is the possibility of a flight on a different day. Oh, Timothy, you're preaching to the choir there. I apologize for borrowing a phrase that borders on religion, because the religious people were like, hey, get away from us, you fuck nut. But yeah, it happened to me a couple times since the pandemic on different things I've had to do. Yeah, and you're right. It's just like, fuck you. Guess what? Flight's canceled. And then, or they'll cancel it like a couple days out. Well, we've scheduled you on this flight instead. Well, good for you, motherfucker. Now I'm only going to get there 2 hours after the meeting I was going for is over. And they just, it was, I guess it was the nature of the way that it was presented to me. Like, hey, we're going to do you this favor because normally this ticket was a little higher, but we're going to let you take this one. This flight that does me absolutely no good whatsoever. Especially, oh, you're right, pal. Just realized I'm the king. Let's go, bitches. That's right. I didn't even see that, pal. Special is ruling over all. Philip says, yesterday I finally found out who's stupid enough to vote for Trudeau. The same kind of people who asked for a selfie with him in front of a war memorial in the middle of a moment of silence. Oh, wow. There might be one of the most inappropriate people walking the planet right now. What the fuck? Oh, I haven't even looked. Willie says I just tested the dislike button. It still works. Does it? I forgot to warn you, by the way. This much U100 isn't as vile as the PetScott video, but it's definitely the creepiest. I'm game. Well, you know me, Willie. I get hyped for that stuff. That's a good. You guys bringing that up? I hadn't thought about it. Is the dislike button still there? It was supposed to be gone. What? Yesterday? I say it's not that big a deal to. I don't want to do one of my videos. Let me just go on to YouTube because I don't know if what I see on my own videos when I'm logged in is different. Oh, let's see. Let's just go to a WWE video. Yeah, you're right. The dislike video link is still there. What the fuck is YouTube even talking about then? Or now, before I start talking about YouTube's ineffectiveness again, maybe I read it wrong, but I thought it was supposed to be gone as of today or yesterday, I thought. Oh, was it Licks who showed me the Gooshman Chrome? I couldn't remember. Oh, no, you're right. No, I take that back. I do remember because Licks and I have had conversations about that since. There were people in the chat who were like appalled that I didn't find it appalling. That's what it was. Because when I started laughing and said that's one of the greatest things I've ever seen, we must have had some people that weren't super regular with the channel that were appalled that I wasn't appalled. That's what it was. Arthur says, YouTube won't let me super chat today. I'm sorry, I won't load for me. No problem, pal. Listen, we're we're all aware of this rocking ship that they call YouTube and how often we're going to get thrown off the sides. Marcel says, "Hey Curtis, I'm saddened to inform you that Marcel passed away peacefully at 2:34 a.m. Malaysian time. He died watching one of your reaction videos." Marcel, listen, don't even joke about that. I need all of you guys. Philip says there were college-age girls, definitely the type that go to their gender studies class and think woke politicians like Trudeau are the greatest thing since sliced bread. Yeah, it seems to be, Philip. It's typically the people who, and in this country too, support people on the far left tend to be those with limited life experience. It's just, well, and the thing that makes me laugh is we go through the same thing in this country, Philip. Like the people that support somebody like AOC are typically very young. And they talk about, well, there's a revolution coming. If you've lived as long as I have, you understand that this same revolution has been being predicted for decades, for generations, because people have different takes on things before they've actually experienced life. When you can look at stuff and go, oh, it would be nirvana if this was free and that was free and this was free and the government just gave you everything. And then when you get out into the real world and you realize, oh, well, there's got to be a price paid for that somewhere, and I'm going to have to pay it now, then it's not as cool. But that goes back even before, but in my lifetime, back to the 60s. The hippies said that they were going to create a revolution, and they were all the extreme left of that era. And they said, well, we're the young ones. We're the ones with the big numbers. Give it 20 years and see where we are. Well, we've given it 60 years, and they're still talking about the same revolutions coming. Chrome says, oh, by the way, the Rittenhouse trial continues to be a joke. The prosecutor's now gotten everyone to squat around the TV while the signal doesn't work because he didn't get an expert into Zoom footage. Jesus Christ. See, to me, what I've seen of the trial so far, and I've watched all the video from that night, and again, anybody that disagrees is welcome to say so, but it seems like a slam dunk self-defense. Now, they might get him on a weapons charge, but as far as the murder, I don't see any way. It looked like all three times it was clearly, to me, within the guidelines of what would constitute self-defense. And as far as one of them, but you guys already know how I feel about this, the convicted pedophile, fuck him. I personally, if the world were a perfect place, I would think that if you take out a pedophile, it shouldn't even be a crime. But that's just my take on it. Marcel says, Marcel's cause of death watching Wabbit season way too many times, a.k.a. red-nippled rabbit. Oh. Good old Papa Meat. That's actually a pretty good one, Gabe. I haven't heard that one before. What do you do if your wife starts smoking? Slow down and use some lubricant. That's good. I like that, pal. I like that one a lot. Vin says, thoughts on a live-action High School of the Dead? Oh, I loved High School of the Dead. As far as live action, Vin, it just goes back to the same thing as all of them. If they decided to do it right, any of them could be great. Live action High School of the Dead would have some impressive titties in it, obviously. Rosa says, all my free time is either watching YouTube, playing chess, or studying chess. Even when I'm driving my truck and listening to audiobooks or whatever about you guys at chess. That's cool. Hey, it's fun. I've always, fuck off, Train. I'm a big believer that it's great to have a passion or passions in life. I think it's a lot of what helps get you through. Bylove says, I'm trying to figure out the actor who killed someone on set. Seems Alec Baldwin. Talking about Bylove? Alec Baldwin's the one who just recently was playing with a gun and shot a couple of people and killed one of them. Philip says, honestly, Rittenhouse showed a lot of self-control, not just firing at the mob. True. I agree. Considering they were planning to beat him up, that was not a crowd to surrender to. And again, the video is there. He's running away from everybody. And the last guy was grabbing at his gun and had a gun of his own. I don't understand because again, you have people that are extremists on the other side who are just pissed off because people who believe the same things they do got killed. But that has nothing to do. You can reverse the situation however you want, even if it was entirely reversed. If that was a whatever, what's extreme right? Proud Boys rally, okay, and some young Antifa member, as much as I hate Antifa, decided that he wanted to be there during that rally, and the same thing happened to him, he would have been justified. But people can't put apart the politics anymore. It's not even a thought anymore. It's just a simple matter at hand, the facts of the case. In every instance, he was attacked. He had every reason to believe his life was in danger, and he protected himself. To me, it's a really easy one. Gabe says, knock, knock. Who's there? I eat mop. I eat mop poo. You eat your poo? Ah, gross. Elijah says, my grandma, how you say that? Mamanon is in assisted living. And I don't want to leave her. That's rough. That's where my mom is in assisted living. That's one of the reasons my wife went back, because she's in the assisted living center my wife worked at. And she had retired, but she went back and she works a couple days a week, and largely, so, my mom has somebody that's, when she can remember, that's familiar to her. Licks couldn't agree more. I've not been paying heavy attention to that trial, but from what I've seen, it looks like a very funny future South Park skit. I can't imagine it won't be, Licks. And I gotta imagine it is going to be really funny. Excuse me. Chrome says, I'm not joking, by the way. I'm watching Medicare's Twitter for it, and it's a clown show. Okay, hold on. Let me look at Chrome's link. The judge hates me. This fucking TV isn't showing a signal. Everyone is staring. My feet hurt. I don't want to be here. Yeah. This is our best image. It's playing weird. It looked good on my TV at home. It's 4K, it's best quality. I don't know. Jesus Christ. I know everything. Again, this trial has done nothing, not only to change my opinion about what the outcome should be, but it's reinforced it. Special says, a regular asked for my IG at work, and she's not bad looking either. Nice. Huge ego boost. Finally seeing girls flirting with me and just wanting and desiring me. Yeah, absolutely. Shit, yeah. You get an attractive lady wanting to your Instagram info? Yeah, 100%. Arthur says, Rittenhouse had more control than I would have. The kid had a damn panic attack remembering it, and they're mocking him. Screw that. I'm with you, Arthur. Oh, he had way more control than I would have. There's no question. No question about it. That's what Philip says too to Spagio. I'm nothing better for the old ego than a pretty girl showing interest in you. Ain't that the truth? Yeah. And I think us as guys, we're like, we're dogs. We're just simple. It's like, you pat us on the head, and we're like, thank you. Bylove says, no idea what's going on. Don't mind me. Scoots on chat floor. Oh, careful. We've had a couple accidents on the carpet in here, Bylove. Careful where you scoot. Okay, the accidents were me. And they weren't really accidents. I just didn't feel like going to another room. Yeah, exactly, Philip. To hear them tell it, Rittenhouse the equivalent of those troops that Nixon sent to Kent State. And again, even when you see the conversations or engage the conversations online, they don't even understand. Well, either don't understand the concepts of how the law works, or just don't pay any mind to it because it won't work out for them well, because it's constantly, well, he crossed state lines. Doesn't mean it has absolutely nothing, I mean zero, to do with whether or not he can be found guilty for self-defense. That is an isolated incident. When he shot those people, was he in fear of his life and acting in self-defense? It doesn't matter if the gun was, it doesn't matter if he had a fucking cannon. It doesn't matter if he had a death ray. That has nothing to do with it. And it doesn't matter if he came from another country, let alone another state. Did he feel his life was in danger and acted in self-defense? That's all there is to the murder charges. Now, the other stuff is secondary. He might get a weapons charge or something, but I don't see how you get him on murder. Willie says, speaking of women, I struck out again recently. Didn't have the decency to respond and tell me. Don't feel bad, Willie. I've got an impressive strikeout list from my younger days. Chrome says, this is a quote, don't be confused by anything these people say about the law. an actual statement by the judge about the prosecutor. This thing's already over. It's just political theater now to stop riots. And that's what kills me too. In this country, we do that too often. What is with the placating the masses at the expense of our judicial system? Who gives a fuck? Who cares who, as long as the system is played out the way it's supposed to, and whoever it is gets their fair trial, we don't give a fuck if somebody doesn't like the outcome. We have to worry about people that are going to riot in the streets because they didn't like the outcome of a trial. What the fuck? Who gives a shit? Just tell that the same. It's just everybody has started to believe that their own personal feelings should guide the way the world is run, and that just ain't the way it is. Philip says crossing state lines would only matter if he had stolen a car, or if he'd kidnapped someone. Right, for those types of cases. But like I was saying, even that, Philip, even if he had done all that, the actual shooting someone, say like you say he'd stolen a car, crossed state lines, and then got into those issues, he would still be on the hook for those charges for stealing the car. But not for self-defense. It makes no difference to the self-defense the way the law is written. That is, it's individual. It exists in a vacuum. That whole thing of whether or not, that's the one and only question from the way it was explained to me, is did you have reason to fear for your life and act in self-defense? Nothing else matters. Yeah, exactly, Lex. No, but Curtis, you don't understand. We've decided he's right wing, so there he should get the death penalty. And that's what it is. It's all people screaming about their feelings because there's been nothing in this trial to make anyone believe that it wasn't to make any rational person believe it wasn't self-defense. Yeah, I believe they did, Chrome. Already established he got the gun after entering the state as well. But like I say, that'll be for the separate charges anyway. It doesn't make any difference. It was all, did he have a right to defend himself in that situation in that moment? Yeah, so, and again, the people that are complaining about it and the people who are clogging up social media with their outcries of how this is going to be another injustice, they don't care about the facts. They can't care about the facts because if they do, then they don't have anything to complain about. Oh, guys, I got to go. Guys, I just wanted to thank you for Free For All Friday, but I want to say goodbye to everybody because we will be gone now. We will be back. It's not actually next Saturday. It's actually, it'll be 12. Our flight is due in 12:30 a.m. on Sunday. So I'm going to come home, grab a little sleep, and then I'm going to work on a bunch of stuff because I'll be finishing off all the G100s, the Goosh 100 videos for the Goosh on those last 10 days. So I'll be starting working on them. I'll try and work in a stream as quickly as I can. But as always, I'm never out of contact with you guys. While I'm there, I'll be still uploading videos, our regular routine at the Goosh. I'll have a bunch of videos put ahead where I'll be uploading some here. If I find anything interesting that I think you guys like seeing while I'm at Disney, I'll shoot video of it, obviously, and post it for you. And I won't be as prevalent in the comment section and stuff, but I will be there. I still will be there on occasion. So I don't want you guys to feel like, when I go on vacation, it says like, fuck Spazways, fuck the Goosh, I'm on vacation. No, because this is outside of my family, the biggest part of my life. I never leave here entirely. So I will be around. Just again, if like at the Goosh, if you reach out to me with a PM or something, it just will probably take me longer to get back to you than it does now. I won't be able to check as often. But guys, thank you for the Free For All Friday stream. These are always a blast. And again, thank you for just hanging out with me. And when we do something like this, it's really a thing. And I mean this sincerely. Thank you for allowing me, especially at my age, to have something so cool and such a camaraderie with you guys that even though I'm going on vacation, there's a little bit of, I won't mind getting back because I miss this a lot, and I really do. So that was really, it was sappy, but it was sincere. So today's Free For All Friday quality sticky stuff is going to have a little extra sap in it. Boy, there's a lot of ways. It's already sticky stuff. I was going to say there's a lot of ways you can go with that, but we've pretty much gone every way we can. We like to think we have. Because pamfu, sticky stuff for you, for you, for you. Oh, there is extra sap in it. Sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you. Because we'll bang, okay? Flashly like Buggy. And as always, most importantly, and it never leaves, it never goes on vacation. Goose, 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 goose. Goose.